By ages 8 to 12, a lot of ADHD kids don't just struggle, they push back more. Not because they suddenly changed, but because what used to help stopped working. If it feels like everything got harder and you don't know why, this will explain it. And it doesn't mean things are doomed or permanently getting worse. It means that the pattern changed. This is often the age where expectations rise faster than executive function does. Adults assume kids should be more independent by now. Instructions get longer. Transitions get quicker. And the support that used to be built in quietly starts to lessen. Kids feel that shift immediately. They feel when there's less room for mistakes. This is usually the point where parents start thinking, why is everything suddenly harder? At the same time, kids this age are more self-aware. They care more about how they're perceived. So when pressure increases, it doesn't just overwhelm capacity, it adds meaning. Resistance becomes protective, not because kids are trying to be difficult, but because they're bracing for what they expect is coming. Once you understand that, the question shifts from, how do I make this stop, to what needs to change before it gets there. Here's where a lot of parents get stuck. Because kids are older now, the pause or pushback gets read as a choice. So adults respond by pushing harder. They add consequences sooner. They tighten rules. They repeat themselves more firmly. All of that makes sense, but when the problem is anticipation and overload, more pressure doesn't create cooperation. It confirms what the child already expects. That's why pushing harder here so often creates more resistance, not less. When kids feel pressure coming early, they protect themselves early. Resistance shows up faster. Arguments start sooner. And each of these moments adds more weight to that backpack because the timing is off. This is why you can't fix this at the point of escalation. By the time things escalate, the arguing, the shutdown, the refusal, the moment has already passed. Nothing productive happens there. That doesn't mean you ignore behavior. It means the real leverage is earlier. With younger kids, the hard moment is usually getting started. With kids 8 to 12, the hard moment often shows up before the request even lands. That's because history is already in the mix. So if you wait until resistance is obvious, you're already behind. What has to shift first isn't consequences or rules. It's the timing of the support. That might mean slowing the requests down, reducing how much is asked at once, or checking for understanding before pushing forward. You're not lowering expectations, you're changing how the demand lands. Now this is the part that parents worry about most, that things are going to keep getting worse. When behavior has been shaped by years of anticipation and pressure, it doesn't unwind all at once. That doesn't mean what you're doing isn't working. It means the nervous system is relearning what to expect. Consistency matters more than intensity here. Progress usually doesn't show up as immediate cooperation. It shows up as slightly less pushback, shorter arguments, and faster recovery after things go sideways. Those are signs the backpack is getting lighter, even if the behavior hasn't disappeared yet. If you're looking for this to work perfectly right away, you'll miss the real progress. The goal isn't to eliminate resistance. This is the part people skip. And it's why the same battles keep repeating. The goal is to change the pattern that creates it. And once that pattern starts to shift, everything else becomes easier to work on. If this pushback is showing up most around homework, the delays, the arguments, the shutdown, that's not accidental. Homework combines executive function, pressure, and history all at once. I have another video where I break down exactly why homework becomes such a flashpoint for ADHD kids and what actually helps at this age. You can click right here to watch that next.